Eric Faddis joining me, high-profile trial lawyer, TV legal analyst, founding partner, Varner, Faddis, Elite Legal, former felony prosecutor. Eric, don't you just hate it when your own client, who's not charged with anything, out of the blue said, I didn't drug you? Because that's what he said. Nobody said he did drug anybody. And all of a sudden he goes, just FYI, I didn't drug you. If my husband said, FYI, I didn't drug you, I'm going to need a defense attorney. Because who would jump up and say that unless they drugged the wife?
I hear you. I mean, it's a curious statement, certainly suspicious in the eyes of many. On the other hand, I think his defense is going to argue that the marriage was on the rocks. Things were tense. Things were dicey. And so, people say things in the heat of an event like this that certainly could be triggering for both parties. The gravity of the statement and sort of it coming out of nowhere is not lost on me.
Triggering, first of all, I don't know how that got popular. Triggering for both parties. Are you telling me he, the dentist, is triggered? What are you talking about? Why? She's dead. Okay? Why are you talking about him getting triggered?
This conversation preceded the death. What I was saying is that, when the relationship is super rocky, sometimes when there are serious medical events that come up or just serious life events, those things can add to the tenseness of the situation, the stress of the situation. And he could have been experiencing distress as well. And sometimes things come out.
Rocky. That's what you call a string of mistresses? Rocky? That's more like an earthquake.
It is a serious event which just could have further been destabilizing for the relationship. When something serious happens, when your spouse is sick, I think defense is going to argue that, hey, things were really distressing. There was heightened emotionality, and sometimes people just say things. That's at least how the defense will likely frame it.
Who is this guy? Let's take a look.
My name is Dr. Jim Craig, and I practice at Summerbrook Dental Group. My approach to dentistry begins with sincerely listening to the patient and wanting to find out more about where they're coming from and what they're looking for and what they want.
That's from the official Summerbrook Dentistry Facebook page. Well, there's more.
Look, and he's going to go visit a patient.
Oh,
let's go see a
patient.
We've been waiting down here for you, Doctor.
Hi. I heard you need a tooth extracted. I'm here to do the work. Hi, Nicole. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Sorry you had to see me like this again.
Again.
I know last weekend was a little bit of a shock, but here I am again, just like this. No, sorry, you in the middle of an exam? I didn't mean to interrupt. Okay. Good luck, Nicole. Hope you don't have any cavities. If you do, though, I'll take care of them.
That's right.
It's right here.
I'm not quite sure what I saw. That was from the official Summerbrook Dentistry Facebook page. But has the husband been working out in the gym? Or are his arms just beefy? Okay, joining me right now, a special guest, Phil Waters, former homicide detective from the Houston PD, president CEO, Kindred Spirits Investigations and Security. Phil, I know that Eric Faddis is going to turn purple and tell me this means nothing. But when your husband, the dentist, who sits on one of those little rolly chairs all day long, suddenly starts working out and developing interests in getting spray tans, you better pay attention to what's going on. You better find out what's behind that. Did you see that video? Has he been working out, pumping iron at the gym? Because it looks like he has.
Well, I think so. In homicide, of course, we'd call that a clue. Watch his behavior and the things that he's doing there. I mean, I guess in isolation for that setting, he's appears to be a very attentive dentist, and he's really into what he's doing, and he's trying to entertain his clients, his patients, as well as do the proper dental work on them. So in that particular setting, it does look like if, of course, we don't know what the timeline here is, but if he's been hitting the gym and doing some things that are trying to get his physique in a better shape, that might be an indicator, of course, to his wife in a general sense that are you doing this for me, or are you doing this for some other purpose?
Okay, take a look at this, Faddis. And that's from the Summerbrook Dentistry Facebook page. That's where we're getting that. Do you see somebody's pumping iron in the gym all of a sudden?
Nancy, he does look a little jacked there. Defense is going to say, so what? Everyone is allowed to take care of their own health. As the homicide detective just said, maybe he was taking care of himself to sort of rekindle the flame with his wife at the time. We just don't know. But yeah, I mean, even if the relationship was on the rocks and he was preparing for something new, that's not a crime.
When Angela is admitted to the hospital for the third time in 2 weeks, James Craig only stops at the hospital for half an hour before going out to get food for his wife. Craig returns an hour and a half later and goes into Angela's room alone. Just a few minutes later, Angela has a severe seizure and her vitals crash. While hospital staff attempt to revive Angela, Craig takes photos of his unconscious wife. Angela is stabilized with the ventilator, but declared brain dead.
Takes photos of his wife. Before we go to a renowned physician and biomedical engineer, Dr. Ernest Scioto, let me go back to Stephen Tubbs, host of Arsenic DDS. Stephen, why is he taking pictures of his wife as she's dying and they're desperately trying to resuscitate her? And she's got all kind of tubes in her. What happened?
He's at the foot of the bed, and it's almost as if he's almost halfway out of that room, Nancy. It was bizarre to see for the first time, but this is really the goodbye. I think he was taking it for some of her family that were not in town. She has a huge family. They primarily live in Utah, but he was there. He then calls the business partner and his wife. They had all, done things as couples before. And this was the goodbye when she was coding out at CU Health. And it was there that, to me, the entire domino started to fall.